All right, once again, thank you again for coming today to help us celebrate this great event. Today is also special for another reason. We have come together through efforts of the leadership of two very special counties, Mariposa County and Tuolumne County. We would not be here today were it not for the two boards of supervisors who have designated the route of J-132 to Highway 120 as the John Muir Highway. Thank you to those members of the two county boards of supervisors for recognizing the importance of this effort and again for your support. Nor would we be here if it were not for the dedication of a group of hardworking individuals who came together to form the John Muir Highway Committee. And that committee was chaired by Ms. Mary Ann Huff of Mariposa County and Ms. Ann Schaefer from Tuolumne County, with its members participating from both Mariposa and Tuolumne counties. In the interest of time, I will not introduce all the committee members so we can continue on and get through this without the heat taking over. But I want to address and point you to our guide to list the members who did participate in this committee and for their hard work. This whole event would not be possible without them. The spirit of cooperation is very much alive in our mountains, and I want to personally thank the board members of Mariposa County Chamber of Commerce, the Tuolumne County Visitors Bureau, especially Nancy Sykes has done a phenomenal job, and she's my counterpart. Nancy, thank you. And the Yosemite Chamber of Commerce, and of course my team, the Yosemite County Tourism Bureau, and my outstanding board of directors that allow me to do what we do. Now let's have some fun. There's no question that John Muir was a bigger-than-life figure. Few people in our history as a nation have done more to preserve and protect our national resources. Most of you know filmmaker Ken Burns when he captured that point in his recent PBS series, America's National Parks. And to illustrate this point, Ken Burns turned to Mariposa's own Lee Stetson, who is well known for his accurate and delightful portrayal of John Muir. Today, we're fortunate to have Lee join us, and he will read excerpts from the John Muir's My First Summer in the Sierra. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage Lee Stetson.
John Muir Highway. Oh, well, now. Such a grand gathering of fine spirits we have here before us today, of Sierra foothill lovers, eh? Well, such a gathering is likely to bring forth any other lively spirit hereabouts, and having spent a long and happy lifetime traveling back and forth from the Bay Area to the high mountains above us, well, it's no wonder that I should appear here today, right? Now, I know I've heard the rumor that I died. And long ago, they say, end of a broken heart, of a shattered spirit from the loss of the Hetch Hetchy Valley, that other magnificent Yosemite-type valley that I fought so long and so hard to protect, and to no avail. But and there's a spot of truth in that death, of course, but I seem to be constantly wandering about in this good world nowadays by the naming of things after me, things like the John Muir Highway. Many years ago, Mr. William Kent of San Francisco did me the very great honor of naming his redwood forest, his magnificent gift to the American people, the Muir Woods, and I am proud of that. And school children have planted Muir trees in the school grounds long ago as a grave. The botanist named several plants for me. The most interesting of which was a frost-enduring daisy that I discovered on the shores of the Arctic Ocean near Icy Cape, and a butterfly, a Sierra peak also, and one of the Alaskan glaciers bears my name. But to add to this now, I'm especially proud, of course, to have my name grace this beautiful highway that leads to the upper reaches of my glorious Sierra Nevada. So I am alive in this respect, I suppose, of having things named for me, but perhaps also because, as I said many years ago, a man in his books may be said to wander the world long after he is in his grave. In one of those books, entitled My First Summer in the Sierra, has these reactions to my encounters with the lovely plant people hereabouts as I first wandered through this region. After gaining the open summit of this first bench, feeling the natural exhilaration due to the slight elevation of 1,000 feet or so, a magnificent section of the Merced Valley at what is now called the Horseshoe Bend came into sight. A glorious wilderness is seen to be calling with 1,000 songful voices. Bold, down-sweeping slopes feathered with pines and clumps of manzanita, with sunny open spaces between them, made up most of the foreground. The middle and background presented fold after fold of finely molded hills and ridges rising into mountain-like masses in the distance, all covered with the shaggy growth of chaparral, so marvelously close and even that it looked like a soft, rich plush without a single tree or bare spot. As far as the eye can reach, it extends, a heaving, swelling sea of green. And of Coulterville and near Greeley Hill I wrote, near Coulterville I found a lovely lily, white with a purplish tinge inside at the base of the petals, a most impressive plant, pure as a snow crystal. One the plant saints must all love and be made so much purer by it every time it is seen. It puts the roughest mountaineer on his good behavior. During the afternoon, we passed a fine meadow bounded by stately pines, mostly the arrowy pine, a yellow pine, with here and there a noble sugar pine, its cones 15 to 20 inches long, swinging like tassels at the end of the branches with superb ornamental effect. The fragrance of the sugary sap delicious. While such plant people are standing, preaching by the wayside, the whole world would seem rich, as though none ever else existed. Grand memories. Once in these mountains with a bit of bread and tea, I was free to follow my instincts, to be myself, for good or ill, and to see what would be the upshot. And I decided then that as long as I lived, I would hear the birds and the winds and the waterfalls sing. I'd interpret the rocks and learn the language of storm and flood and avalanche. I'd make the acquaintance of the wild gardens and get as near to the heart of this world as I could. And so I did. I drifted about from rock to rock, from grove to grove, from stream to stream. And whenever I met a new plant, I would sit down beside it for a minute or a day to make its acquaintance, hear what it had to tell. And I asked the boulders where they had been and whither they were going. And when night found me, well, there I camped. I took no more heed to save time or to make haste than did the trees or the stars. This is true freedom, a good practical sense of immortality. Some of the days that I have spent alone on this road has shown me that immortality beyond the grave is not essential for perfect happiness. So, go, I urge you, go play upon your new highway, the John Muir Highway. Go, because everybody needs to be kind, at least to themselves. But go because everybody needs beauty, as well as bread, and places to play in and pray in, where nature may heal and cheer and give strength to body and soul alike. Go quietly, go alone, no harm will befall you, and go often. Go all your life as age comes on. One source of enjoyment after another is closed, but nature's sources will never fail. So go engage the glorious John Muir Highway. Engage it well, and somewhere down the trail, well, should I hear a call again, or become heart-hungry to see old friends, I expect I'll meet your spirit hereabouts. Good friends, fellow Yosemite, John Muir Highway lovers, I bid you a good day.